Well, good Monday morning to you. This is Kathleen Gage, and this is my first of the week lives on Facebook. And of course, I feed it out to other platforms. But today I want to talk about something that is very, very near and dear to my heart, and it's called mindfulness. Because unfortunately, a lot of people, what they do is they are so focused on what they did or did not do in the past, what's going to happen in the future, that they completely miss what's going on right now. And I do a lot of focus on being really present in the moment. Am I perfect at it? Absolutely not. That's why I do a lot of focus on being present in the moment. And I've been really enjoying actually a video on YouTube. I'm going to show it to you. It's a video on YouTube that I highly, highly, highly recommend that you check it out because it's a powerful, powerful video. It's Wherever You Go, There You Are by Jon Kabat-Zinn. I don't know if I got that correct, but wherever you go, there you are. This is the exact video. There's other videos like that, but this one I have found to be super, super powerful because really what he talks about is simply being present in the moment in everything you're doing. Whether it be washing the dishes, whether it be vacuuming your home, whether it be working with a client, whether it being on a Facebook Live, but being fully, fully present, because the more present you are, the more you realize this is the point of power. And a few things that I've really looked at and I've fine-tuned over the years is I have a morning protocol. That morning protocol is something that gets me set up for the day. It gets me set up in a mindset that really works for me. One of the things that I do is I actually have a gratitude list. I go through my mind and I think of what I have to be grateful for. And it can be something as simple as having a roof over my head. And that's not a simple thing for some people nowadays. There are a lot of people who have lost their homes to floods, to tornadoes, to hurricanes, to fires, and they have become homeless as a result, or they're living with relatives as a result, or they're living in RV parks, or they're on the road as a result. No fault of their own. And actually, it has to do with behaviors that we collectively have been participating in, which has to do with animal consumption. It has to do with the use of plastics. It has to do with basically our lifestyle choices, but that's for another conversation. So the first thing I do is I start with gratitude. What are some things that I can truly, truly be grateful for? I can see, I can hear, I can walk, I can talk. I have a roof over my head. I have food in the refrigerator. I have my animals who love me. I love them. I have my spouse. I love her. She loves me. Things of that nature. Very, very simple. Just bring it down to simple terms. And what you'll find is the more you express what you have to be grateful for, the more you tend to have to be grateful for, because if you notice on virtually every law of attraction video that you watch, audio that you listen to, book that you read, expert that you pay attention to, they all say thoughts become things. So whatever you focus on, whatever your thoughts are, and you really put effort into that focus, you're going to have more of that. So I start with gratitude. Then what I do is I actually do a yoga practice. And sometimes it's as little as 10 minutes. Other times I can do yoga for up to an hour. One of my favorite people to watch on YouTube. I love YouTube because I can access videos that are aligned with the things that I'm looking for. And Jen Hillman, that's Jen Hillman, Hillman. She is one of my favorites. She has simple yoga. She has harder yoga. It's a matter of what you want. But what I love about yoga, it really helps me to be present in the moment, whether it be to notice the pain that I didn't know that I had, and I can breathe through that pain, which leads into the next item for mindfulness is to breathe. And right now, just take a breath. Because so often we're running from thing to thing to thing that we forget to breathe. And so take the time to actually breathe and really focus on your breath and realize breath is life. And it's so interesting with what's going on with the pandemic, with what's going on with a lot of people having lung conditions and heart conditions. Louise Hay, if you're a follower of Louise Hay, she actually started her publishing company in her 60s, and she became really one of the greatest influencers within the self-development spiritual movement. And she wrote a book called You Can Heal Your Life. In it, she said anything to do with the lungs, when you're having lung problems, it's the inability to take in life. So by being mindful, by being present, you actually take in more of life. So I encourage you to stop and just pause and breathe. It's amazing what that will do. So stop, pause, and breathe. Immediately your energy shifts. So that's another thing, is that I do my yoga, I do my breathing exercises. Another thing that I do is I meditate. Now, meditation has a lot of different aspects to it, and a lot of people think they don't know how to meditate. You can meditate when you're working in your yard. Yesterday, it was a beautiful, beautiful pre-spring day. It was about 58 degrees. Sun was shining, absolutely amazing. So I went and worked in the yard for a while. I was digging weeds, literally in the dirt, digging weeds and giving thanks for the dirt and giving thanks for the bulbs that I was putting into the ground, and really putting love and energy into those bulbs so that when spring comes, they're going to be beautiful. And I love a lot of color in my garden. So taking time to meditate. Meditation can be a walk near the river. Meditation can be actually very formal, where you're sitting there and you're but a lot of people don't do that kind of meditation, and that's okay. Meditation is simply getting quiet, getting silent, and really allowing the thoughts to come up and to notice what your thoughts are, because we're constantly chasing after thoughts. We're doing one thing and it's like, okay, maybe I'm thinking of these glasses, and it's like, oh, I'm thinking about a book I read. And oh, when I read that book, what I was doing is I was drinking a cup of tea, and oh, I wonder where tea is made from. And, so our mind is constantly on the go. Another thing in mindfulness is to notice what you're consuming in your body. And something as simple as, okay, I've got a cup here with some tea in it, and to really look at the tea and think about, what did it take to get that tea into the tea bag that is now in my cup so that I can enjoy a nice cup of tea? How many hands were involved in it? How many people were involved in it? What kind of farming practices took place? And that's really what leads into my next point, is to really look at what you're consuming on your plate. And a lot of people claim to love animals, and yet they consume animals. And I used to be one of those people. I loved animals. I rescued animals, but I would eat animals. And I've been vegan for about 3.5 years now, 100% vegan. I don't consume any animal or dairy in my food consumption. And I've moved that into the clothes I wear, into the products I use, my cosmetics, my hair products, all of that. I make sure that what I'm consuming in mind, body, and soul is very cruelty-free and compassionate to the animals, the earth, and the environment, and to my body. And so what I would invite you to do is to look at, do your words match your actions? Because we can say that we love animals, but do our actions really convey that? And what I mean by that, and this is not a judgment on anybody, because I was 64 when I went vegan, and I'll be 68 in just a couple of months. And I look at that and it was like, I was very late in life when I decided to go vegan. But now I'm very conscientious about what I buy, what I consume, and what I digest. Is it really cruelty free? So what I would invite you to do is, as you're eating, whatever's on your plate, think about where that came from. Think about what it took. And when people say, oh, I only do compassionately killed animals, how can you compassionately kill an animal unless it's an animal who's at its end of life? It's had a quality life. Maybe you rescued a dog and it really has reached a point where the most loving thing you can do is help it to go over the rainbow bridge. That's a whole different conversation. But if you look at factory farming, if you really are mindful about factory farming and what goes into factory farming, I think that any sane person, any person who really is conscientious and has a higher awareness, will realize this is not the way that they should be eating. And a lot of times, if we don't see it, we think we're not participating in it. But we vote with our dollars, we hurt with our dollars, we heal with our dollars. So whatever you consume, what I encourage you to do is with every meal to really look at that meal and say, okay, what can I do to be more compassionate, more loving? Is what I'm consuming compassionate and loving? So we have the gratitude, we have the yoga, we have the meditation. Another thing I like to do is watch videos like what I showed you about wherever you go, there you are. I really find that the less I consume traditional media, because nowadays you don't know which media is true and which isn't, and I'm not going to get into fake news stuff. I'm just going to say that if you're constantly bombarded, whether it be with news, with advertisements, with repeated messages that are designed to put you in fear, they're designed to put you in limiting thinking, they're designed to put you in us against them, whoever us against them is, you cannot flourish at your highest level. This is Kathleen Gage with Vegan Visibility. That's Vegan Visibility and Plant-Based Eating for Health, encouraging you. Really think about what you're doing from moment to moment. The way to be most mindful is to consciously think about what you're doing in each given moment. This morning, as I was cleaning my home, I was being very conscious about when I was dusting the coffee table, when I was dusting the side table, when I was vacuuming. I was really being present with, what does this really mean in my life? And some people say, well, that, being mindful, it's kind of boring and all that. And I can tell you, I'm not bored. I am actually so grateful and so filled with joy. And the more I focus on that, the more it just kind of bubbles over. So I would encourage you, really look at what you're doing in your life. Be very mindful about every phone call you make, every blog post you write, every video that you make, and really think about what you're putting out to the universe. What is the energy you're putting out? And is it the loving energy that you say you want to put out there? Or are you a part of, through your behaviors, are you a part of something that is not compassionate? And that's why I am a vegan. The longer I'm a vegan, the more research I do, the more I surround myself with other ethical vegans, the more I realize for so many years I was living out of alignment. Am I completely in alignment today? Probably not. There's things I do that probably are out of alignment, but I'm in a position to notice that, and I can make changes around that. So I encourage you, really look at what you read, look at what you eat, look at what you drink, look at what you consume from television, whatever it may, from YouTube, whatever it may be, and be conscientious about what you put into your mind, body, and soul is energetically what you're putting out into the world. This is Kathleen Gage, wishing you a great day. Be blessed, go out, express gratitude, and do something kind for somebody today without them knowing. Don't tell anybody, don't tell them, just do it and notice how that feels. Have a great day.